Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of This Week in the News here on DBS television. We are glad you are out there for us to discuss issues concerning us as Cameroonians. In this edition of the program, we'll be talking about the process of decentralization in Cameroon with focus on the regional councils. The first mandate is about rounding up. Elections are scheduled for next Sunday, November 30th. So within the context of the implementation of the process of decentralization in Cameroon, regional councils became one of those institutions that were introduced as per the 1996 constitution. Regional councils are institutions made up of elected officials representing every division and traditional rulers in every region. Their primary role is to advance a decentralization process in Cameroon. The role is to promoting and controlling cultural, economic, educational, health-related issues, societal as well as sports-related issues within each region. And the Constitution of Cameroon grants them administrative and financial autonomy. Their mandate is 5 years renewable, and the first mandate began in 2020, 5 years down the line. Can Cameroonians trace their footprint in the development of the country? That is our worry this Sunday, to identify the relevance of regional councils in Cameroon. Campaign for the election of regional councillors is underway, and like I said, the elections will be taking place on Sunday, November 30th. With us in the studios, we have our guest who is already here. We begin with Mr. Dilian Quine. He is of the civil society. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for accepting to talk to us in this edition of the program.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your various telespectators. I'm happy to be here to share with you what is about our local government.
Yes.
What is about Cameroon, the Cameroon of tomorrow.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure having you. She will be accompanied by a lady. She will be joining us online from Ghana. I'm talking of Madame Ba Akwen Nadia. She is the National Youth President of the UPC party and equally the spokesperson of that party. She will be joining us live from Ghana as we proceed. But then, while waiting for her to get in touch with us from Ghana, we'll begin straight away, Mr. Quine. I wanted to begin from you. Like I indicated, the first mandate of the party is about, or is almost rounding up. How do you appreciate the presence of these regional councillors in our regions? Because all regions have councillors.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say I still believe I'm among those Cameroonians who believe that we are in a context of presidential election.
Yes.
We massively voted, and today the Constitutional Council has proclaimed the result, and Mr. Bia has been proclaimed as a winner.
Yes.
I was saying earlier that I count myself among those Cameroonians who still believe that the truth of the ballot box is still awaiting.
It's still awaiting the Constitutional Council rounded up, and
this is my personal opinion.
Okay.
I think that being a partaker of this election, I do believe with what I saw that there is something that should be revealed to Cameroonians, and I stand on a position to expect what I believe that is the truth that should be released, so that the country should be at peace before stepping into the local government, as the topic is stating. Yes, actually, normally after the presidential election, according to the electoral calendar, we have to go to how do you call it? local election.
Local elections. Yes.
Starting with those
Municipal elections.
No, before the municipal election.
Legislative elections, municipal elections, then regional council.
Regional council election.
Yes.
That's the next election. That's the one that is coming up.
Yes.
So stepping into that is a concern, but we need to. There's something that needs to be done for the electoral field to reflect the will of the people. It's true that regional election concerns councillors, but councillors should reflect, the will of the people, so that we can best expect to have the regional councillors that we may choose, that we answer to what the needs of the people. So that's why this election is important. But unfortunately, we're in a context where things will not be done exactly for people to express their will, but rather for the CPDM party to continue to look for their legitimacy, because that's what it's all about. They are hunting their legitimacy, and they are ready to do.
Legitimacy determined by the number of councillors that they have, or the regional councils. What about them?
Yeah, actually, local government is the most famous political arena where the real power belongs. So, failing to have this local councillor by your side, I'm talking in terms of political party.
Yes.
It shows that your party may be out of the real governance.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying, that the CPDM, they are doing everything possible to do it on their own way, not on the will of the people.
Okay, Mr. Nkwine, we'll be coming back to you. Let us take our technicians are indicating that Madam Ba Akwin Nadia is already online. If it is possible for us to have her, she's already with us. Good afternoon, Madam, and thank you for accepting to talk to us in this edition of This Week in the News.
Good afternoon, Mr. VErnasius. It's a pleasure having me on your platform. Hello to Mr. Kwanye, my co-panelist. I hope you guys are doing just okay. It's a rare privilege, Mr. VErnasius, to always be on your pedagogic platform to talk about pressing issues that concerns our country. Thank you.
Madam, thank you for the efforts you have made to be part of this discussion live from Ghana. And like we are indicating, we were trying to find out the relevance of the regional councils in our country. And like I was asking Mr. Nkwine, I wanted to find out from you, how did you appreciate the first mandate of these regional councillors? Elections will be coming up next week, so they have been in office for their mandate. How do you appreciate the 5 years that they have spent in the office as regional councillors in Cameroon?
Well, Mr. VErnasius, my first comment is bilan zero. When we talk of the regional election, we are talking of the last stage when we talk of Cameroon's constitution, the 1972 constitution. And we should not forget that this institution came into existence because of the 1996 riot, when Cameroonians said we are going back to federation. So the government thought of, bringing decentralization, because this is fast forwarding the last stage of our institutions, which is decentralization. And the first batch we had, that was in 2020. And Mr. VErnasius, I was a candidate. We were the first candidates for this regional election. And to be surprised, Mr. VErnasius, the ruling party had to collect everything. And when we went out asking them questions, that this is an institution that has been way long and was supposed to be cited. And our regional delegates were supposed to be already formed, like educated on their job descriptions. They would tell us that no, this mandate was meant to educate them. So from all indications, this last mandate of 2020, because they have a mandate of 5 years, so these 5 years, the bilan is zero, Mr. VErnasius. It is zero. They have been wasting our taxpayers' money. I don't even know what they are doing, because most of the time when you talk to these guys, they'll tell you, Nonela, we are doing our formation too. Like Cameroon is a banana republic where anybody can be gotten from anywhere, and they just, want to do things just like that. Not forgetting that, Mr. VErnasius, Cameroonians don't even know that we have something like regional election. Cameroonians don't even know that we have regional delegates. Cameroon don't know that we have 900 people that are wasting our taxpayers' money for 5 years now. It is preposterous, Mr. VErnasius. So that's my first comment. The bilan is really, really zero.
Just take Mr. Nkwine here in the
Hello?
studio. What do you share that opinion?
I completely share the opinion, and I think all Cameroonians will share the same opinion. We have not been seeing those our regional councillors. They are nowhere to be found. Of which our country is under a kind of bubbling state where you see the need of the people are being kept aside, mostly for those people privileges. It's like Cameroon, as Madam Ba was saying, Cameroon is a kind of kingdom where people come and collect resources from the poor ones, and nothing is done at the direction of the people who express the need to be developed, express the need to have a comfort living life. So I can best tell you that regional councillors, I believe that so many people, so many Cameroonians don't know the existence of this particular institution, and they themselves, as she said, if they are there to learn, and they are being paid with huge amount of those people who are paying their taxes,
Taxpayers' money.
it's a serious case to handle. We should choose in this country, either the people ask to those who are ruling that everything can be done through nomination, appointment. If that should be the case, let them be appointed, and it has nothing to do with the people. But if the people have to be the one to elect our councillors, they should know that those elections is not for their privilege, but it's rather to act in a society such a way that the people aspiration, the people needs should be carried up. Because we are not talking of decentralization, but you see how our councils are being handled. Everything depends on Yaoundé. The least road, the least bridge that could be built by the people, the local people, they are forced to wait a signature coming from a minister who cares less. At the end of the day, us populations, us the voters, will be the ones to pay the huge price. And then at the end of the month, they will be you will see them on banks to go and collect our money. So it's a serious problem to face and to tackle. I can best say that at a certain given point, regional councillors are not needed.
They are not needed.
So for me, if they could counsel, or if they could stop that institution to function, it has no impact on our living conditions,
in our development,
target.
Yes,
it has no impact.
All right, let's come back to Madam Akwen to find out from her. Madam, you were indicating something about their job description. 5 years, people are still learning. Remember that this institution came into the constitution in the 1996 amendment, like you clearly indicated. Between 1996 and 2020, when the first mandate began, do we say that job description was not well, defined in such a way that from 2020 they should know what to be doing? Between 1996 and 2020 is approximately getting to 20 years. There was nothing like job description for them?
Mr. VErnasius, it's a call for concern, really, because it's painful. It's painful amongst all the problems we have in this country, amongst all the very important troubles Cameroonians have been going through for 43 years under this regime. They keep maltreating us. They keep treating us as if Cameroonians are stupid. How can we have an institution that has long been existent in the constitution. Yet we have people who say we are still learning. When you are learning, you are being paid. The taxpayers' money is being used unnecessarily. And I tell you, Mr. VErnasius, these regional delegates don't even know. I don't know if they have read the decree that was signed by the president under law number 2019/006 of 2019, when be assigned that this last institution will begin in 2020. They don't know. You don't even know where they are localized. You don't know where their bureaus are. You're asking yourself. We talk of the last stage of our institutions. We talk of them being like a bridge, because when we look at their job description, the regional delegates are like a bridge between the grassfield and the government. We are talking about they are working in collaboration with the legislature. We are talking of the Senate House. So these people, because we have traditional chiefs, because Mr. VErnasius, there are some things it's not very good to say right now, because we are in a context of looking for reconciliation and peace in all juncture. But it is so painful that despite all the troubles we have, despite all what we've been going through, where the youth they have nothing to show for. When I even read the arete of this, the job description of guys, I was told that civil servants are not into this. But it is shocking to see that, because when we have 90 regional delegates per region, 70 is for regional delegates, and we have 20 which are traditional rulers. Now, we all said that traditional rulers are not supposed to get involved into politics, because they are the sacred keepers of our traditional entities. But today with this, what is happening? And Mr. VErnasius, I can tell you that this government don't have pity for any, because ever since we had this regional election, a lot of traditional leaders have left their homes. They cannot preside over their circumscriptions because they got involved into politics, because they are no longer like a neutral body who serve between the government and the grassroots. So you will see that their job description is not effective. You cannot be working in a place where you are not resident. Most of our chiefs, they are not living in the villages. Meanwhile, they are part of the regional delegates. Okay, 20%, 20 from each region are for the traditional rulers. But most of these rulers are in Yaoundé. They are drinking their wines in their beer parlors, enjoying themselves, using our taxpayers' money. Now, the regional delegates, the 70, what are they doing? Nothing. I am a regional delegate. I've been working for 5 years. What is your belang? Do you have mercy over Cameroonians, or you weren't prepared? That is why I tell you, Cameroon is a country where we are always taken unaware. Everything comes as if it is a miracle, or as if it is something that just got from space. This is an institution that came into existence because of the riot in 1996, the amended constitution, where Cameroonians say we want federation. President Biya said, let's go now to decentralization, and we are going to do this. In 2020, the last institution was being seated, yet no belang. It's preposterous. It's preposterous. It's an insult to us. It's an insult. And Mr. VErnasius, Cameroonians are not educated on this, because when I look at the list published, we have just 9 political parties running for this election. Just 9. Is to show you that we think that it is not important, and this institution has not proven any fruits. They will not tell us that no, it is just 5 years. That is what they have been telling us. President Biya has been president for 43 years. He's going in for meanwhile he'll be presiding over Cameroon for 50 years. So we need 50 years for the regional delegates to show forth something. That's the slogan. That's the answer. I think that's it. Because at this juncture, they will tell you we are learning. It's just 5 years. Give us some time. President Biya said it's just 43 years. Give me 7 more years. That's the story. That's the story, Mr. VErnasius.
But then let's come back, Ms. Ankwine. We are talking about development, because when we talk about decentralization, is to fast track the development of Cameroon. Now, I wanted you to assess the practical existence of these regional councils and municipal councils that we have in our various towns and cities. Is it possible for the two institutions to coexist and work for the good of Cameroonians?
Yes, that was the purpose of why they have to put into our constitution the existence of the regional councils, because it was actually to give more empowerment to those local government to know how and where to carry up their actions. But unfortunately, what we're experiencing is completely contrary to the spirit of which the constitution wanted those institutions to function. Because let's be factual. The people from the grass field are the one in need for a good governance. Now, the constitution is giving a lot of ways for those who have to carry up those politics to have enough means to express what the population is asking for. So regional council was actually put in place to resolve some of these typical problem coming from the governees,
yes,
like from the people. You see, Cameroon is a kind of curiosity in the whole world, where at times you have the impression that the ruling party is putting on the politics of mockery. They are simply mocking at the people, snubbing them, and then performing exactly what pleases more of them than what people are expecting.
Unfortunately, that is still the ruling party that has a majority, because if they had no majority, they would not have won.
Yeah, they have the majority. That's why all our complaints, all our problems are being addressed to them. They are the cause of the mismanagement of this country, and the regional council is just an element. It's just
how do we link the regional council, their failure, like Madam Aquin was indicating, and the CPDM?
No, actually, you see, when we're talking of election, now they say is according to the law, the people have to vote to elect the regional councillors
and municipal
councillors.
Yes.
And we know the way those municipal councillors were being voted. You know, their mandate has been postponed, yes, for no reason. For no sustainable reason stated according to our constitution. Why?
No, I think that we would have had 3 elections in Cameroon in 2025.
Yeah.
Presidential election, local elections, and regional elections.
Yes.
I think postponing the local election, as a municipal and legislative election, to 2026 was to make it easier for the country to. Do you think that we could manage the 3 elections?
Why not? Government has never given any reason. The reason has ever been said that is because of financial issues.
But then
they postpone. But that was not the reason given. You know, we are people. A government needs to communicate.
Exactly.
So when the government does not communicate, it gives open door to various interpretations.
Yes.
So we interpreted that this government they are doing exactly what they feel that is better for them. They are not doing what the Cameroonian people are expecting. So that's why I'm saying that the postponement of this municipal election was actually just to please their plans. Their plan is actually to overflow the political arena and to have all these institutions for their own sake. That's why they have to postpone the municipal election without giving any sustainable reason. Now,
yes,
the councillors who are being elected, I'm talking of the men,
yes,
aside the system. When they sit and they see all these problems, because I've never heard in a TV program councillors defending a case of which Cameroon is under a serious political crisis,
yes,
as I can say. They are nowhere to be found. You have seen the recent manifestation all over the country. Those are the problems where those councils were supposed to tackle. They were supposed to bring it up to express themselves and let the Cameroonian know that there is an institution like that will function and they can best trust them. But nothing is being done on that direction. I think as Madam Balamba was saying, their target, their interest is just to consume the money we are suffering to work. Is to consume that money, go to Yaoundé, drink their beer, and then mock at us. There's another something that I really want to ask myself. The president of this institution, I've been seeing governors appointed them or put them on seats. I want to ask, between a governor and a local councillor.
Yes, I was to come to that conflict between administrators, appointed administrators like the governor, and elected council administrators like the president of the regional council.
There is a kind of mix up that shows that this particular institution is not actually was well thought, but the putting in place is a complete failure, which they need to refound back and put on the table the real questions to be answered before having to put a trust in social institution who consume a lot of money.
All right, we'll be coming back to it. Madam Ba, we're talking about decentralization, and if we look at one of those arms of decentralization, which is the putting in place of institutions like the regional council that is not functioning as it was intended to, can we conclude that the process of decentralization has failed in Cameroon?
Mr. VErnasius, before answering that question, I would like to add something to what Mr. Dylan was saying on the panel. He spoke of, because you asked him a question, you said that normally in Cameroon, we're supposed to have 3 elections in this 2025, but the others were being postponed. And the reasons this government gave us was the reason of money, which to me, I think this is a political mafia. It is a political mafia. We all know that Cameroonians and the leaders of Cameroon are great embezzlers. Most of them are in jail, okay? I would not like to go into that. But what I would say is that the reason of money they gave Cameroonians, it was not money. Cameroonians we should be very versed in some issues. They did all this because they wanted to outline or to make important opposition leaders not to run for this presidential election. That was the reason why they had to fast forward. They had to carry over this election. They said, we don't have money. Cameroon has money. Recently, I saw an article where the prime minister was requesting money from the IMF. Embezzlers have money, and most of these guys, when they get them, the Operation Sparrowhawk, when they have been gotten by Operation Sparrowhawk, they said they refund the money. So where has the money been going to? How can they say that Cameroon is not having money to organize 3 elections in 1 year, citing money? This is a political mafia. We all know that they use this strategy to send away important opponents during this presidential election. Now, let me go to your question. When we talk of decentralization, we talk of transfer of power. We talk of the transfer of power where each region will be able to manage their resources, manage their problems, be it social, economic, political problems, without depending solely from the center, which is Yaoundé. Until date, Mr. VErnasius, you will agree with me that Cameroon is a centralized country. Because when I read the arrêté of the regional election and their delegates, you will understand that President Biya still has a hold over them. President Biya is the one deciding how much they will be paid. President Biya can demote, remove any regional delegate as he chooses. Okay? So you will not tell me that decentralization is effective using the regional election, because these guys have their hands tied up. As Mr. Kwani was saying, you cannot imagine that an elected official is lesser than an appointee, where a governor can do whatever, can discharge, a regional delegate at will. So decentralization using The regional election is a failure, is a big failure, mafia, and I think that this should be cancelled because it is very irrelevant. It is adding to our problems, not solving our problems. Cameroonians have been decrying this effect that Cameroon is so centralized. We need transfer of powers. We want to do like Nigeria. It happens in Nigeria and in so many countries in the world where the elected officials have power. But in Cameroon, it's not the case. So you cannot say, Mr. VErnasius, that decentralization is effective. This last institution has done justice. They have done nothing. They have simply added salt to the wounds. And Cameroonians are not even aware of this. Only 11 political parties. Yes, it is an indirect suffrage, yes, where those that are supposed to vote are already known. We talk of the region, the councillors. But when you look at the list of the 9 parties and their representative, the CPDM, who has the majority, will get all the 900 seats. Let me tell you, Mr. VErnasius, and if they want to play a game of democracy, they're going to share some few. You can see just Cabral Libi, the Univers of Kumvondo. We have the PCRN of Cabral Libi, the CPDM, the FNNC in the north. Just 9 political parties are running. The question is, where are the other political parties? They know that they have nothing because those that are supposed to go into vote are councillors, and these councillors are from parties. And most political parties, they have what we call a consigne de vote. They tell you what to do. We know what happened during the first election in 2020. When Grégoire Oona went to the circumscription of the PCRN, when I was a candidate with the PCRN. So, Mr. VErnasius, I think that the other party should even boycott. I don't know why they had to go and, take part in this election, because it is better we just say they have won. They are just doing the official. It's not something like a game of democracy. No. Cameroon has no democracy when it comes to the ballot box. The ballot box has been so fragilized, where in other countries it doesn't work like that, Mr. VErnasius. It's a call for concern, and we need to strike. We need to do things. Cameroon is going through. We are still in that process of post-electoral crisis, where we still have demands. This is another election coming. Nobody is aware how things will go. Nobody is aware. Okay, our taxpayers' money is being wasted. Decentralization is not effective because it is not felt in the grassroots. Okay, why is it that in the grass field in our villages, people are still suffering? Whenever they ask you something, they say, go to Yaoundé. Whatever you want, you go to Yaoundé. When the budget is being cited at the National Assembly, okay, it goes to Yaoundé. It is Yaoundé that dispatches it. That is not decentralization. That is not decentralization. Decentralization talk of the autonomy of each region. But these regional councillors they are not free and fair, because the arrêté that makes them regional councillors is under the power of President Biya, deciding what happens and what doesn't happen. Thank you, Mr. VErnasius.
So much, Madam, but we must indicate that the policy of an empty chair in order to avoid elections has not been fruitful. It is better we stand there, all of us, and face it and see how to reform. That's when we talk about reforms. I was going to indicate, finding out from Mr. Nkwine what we need to do in order to make, because the concept of decentralization in itself as a method of governance is good. Now, what reforms should we put in place to make sure that decentralization in Cameroon should have an impact, so that you and I, back in the villages in our various regions, we can identify, the fallout of that process of decentralization? What should be done to make decentralization, a reality?
First of all, is to respect the rules and regulations of democracy. Mm-hmm. Everything starts through a real, fair democracy. Allow the people to choose. Mm-hmm. Allow the people expression to be represented at the level of local governance.
But that's what's happening.
Unfortunately, that's actually where
being voted by the municipal.
You know what is happening. This last presidential election has given a spectacle to the whole world. Never seen elsewhere, where people are manifesting their will are choosing their candidates, the person that will preside the destiny of this country, at the end of the day, in the evening, everything turns to be different. That's where the first...
But is it not like you are sitting in your room and thinking that what is happening in your room, we can generalize it in every way, because there was nobody, you don't know what happened maybe in the other parts, and when they come together, that's when it makes something out from it.
Democracy is a mere problem in Cameroon, because the ruling people is a word that I can best say fight against their interests. You know, as an actor, a political actor on the field, we have this presence of mind, and we also go down, right down to the people to listen, to get from them that their inner problems, their real problems, what they are facing daily. And when we come to express ourselves, we are empowered with all what we have collected from the field. I said the first problem to tackle out is to respect the rules and regulations of democracy. Having the people, having the governance that has been chosen by the people. By doing so, because when you choose someone and you give him the power to preside to their destiny, in return, the person voted will have an obligation to give an account.
Yes.
So that process actually will nourish the will to do well, to do better. Because what we are facing today is that people are being voted the way they are voted, with no pressure of giving an account. And that's where the problem lies. They can embezzle, they can be absent to their post, they can be absent to the real problems of the society, because they have no account to give to nobody. They are there for compliances. CPD want to win the whole country. They have the people that they can place them anywhere. Those people just need to come with what it takes. When they come with what it takes, they are being appointed in the name of election, because that's appointment. It has nothing to do with the typical criteria of democracy. Because if today the CPTM want to face the truth, let us go for a free and fair. Even among those councillors who have to vote the regional councillors, let's go on the free and fair election.
Yes.
You realize that even though those councillors are under the CPTM banner, if the election is fair and free, you will get the truth from the ballot box, and you understand that what the CPTM is putting in place to have the people they need will be shifted away. So if you can respect the democracy, I believe that will be the first point. Now the second point is actually our laws should be respected, because what we are experiencing in Cameroon nowadays, people can use law for their own interests and nothing happens to them. By doing so, you understand that human being is a kind of selfish. Is, we have built up to fight first for our own self-interest. Now when government is absent where it's supposed to be present, you understand that the people's self-interest will prevail. And where they were supposed to act, or they were supposed to govern, the space will be empty, and that's where you will now have all the complaints coming from the grass field. Roads are not done normally as they were supposed to be done. Population don't have water. There's trash everywhere, all over our big cities, and nobody cares. So if the laws are being respected, if this government can make the laws to be respected as it is, I think that will be the second point where we can expect things to be done differently.
All right. Thank you.
And the third one,
Yes, yes,
and
okay,
the
go
third
on,
one
yes.
is the participation of the people. For the people to participate on the local government, the people who have been voted should give the reasons. They should be the one to create the reason why people should feel concerned about what should be done for their interests. But if those people who have been elected the way they are elected, they are just there for their own self-interest to collect a lot of money and build mansion everywhere. You see, people will look at it in a kind of distance, and that interest to contribute to bring in their own participation will not be there. At the end of the day, it will just be like I used to say in French, la cour du roi péto. Everybody will be there to do anything to do whatsoever pleases him.
All right, thank you. Let's take Madame Ba out there. Madame Ba, if you were to talk to the government of Cameroon on this issue of decentralization, what would be your main point? That is the same question I was asking Mr. Nkwine. What would be your main point of focus to make sure that we should put in place to make the process of decentralization a reality, make it bear the fruit that was intended when we started talking about it in 1996?
Yes, Mr. VErnasius, you know, when the Anglophone crisis started in 2016, a lot of Cameroonians came out and said, we want federation. And we know that this question of federation, first of all, came in 1996. And I told people that even the current state which we are, we call it decentralization. If it was effective, I bet you, Mr. VErnasius, Cameroonians will not complain. We kept complaining, and we keep complaining because decentralization is not effective. And a lot of people came out and said, this decentralization, which is the regional election, came to existence rapidly because of the problems that started in 2016, which is the Anglophone problems, when we said people were out for separation, some others were for federation. So the government said, okay, why not bring in place decentralization? And I tell them, if this decentralization was effective, Mr. VErnasius, you will not be complaining. Mr. Quine will not be complaining. Cameroonians will not be complaining. Because when we talk of decentralization, we talk of transfer of powers. Now, the government will tell you it is effective. You cannot give regional delegates the yam and you don't give them the knife. I repeat, they have given regional delegates the yam, which is the name of being a regional councillor, yet you take away the knife from them. They don't have that free will to work. So I would tell the Cameroon government, give them the yam and the knife. Let them do their job. Let them do their job. Because they will tell you we are learning. They are not learning. Cameroon has one of the best laws, Mr. VErnasius. The Constitution of Cameroon is one of the best. The only problem we have in this country is the application on the table, applying them to be effective, for us to see the work. That's where the problem lies, okay? A lot of people, when we were going in for election, we had political parties who said, let us change the penal code, the electoral code, the electoral code. No. If the electoral code which we are using presently to go in for these elections were being respected, would have been different. Mr. Quine, Mr. VErnasius, things would have been different. So I would tell the Cameroon government, yes, decentralization is working in so many countries. Like here in Ghana, they are practicing decentralization. And in West Africa, Ghana is one of the countries that is experiencing a rapid rate of growth in all parts, politically, economically, socially, in every domain. They are doing well. Why? Because their government have let the decentralization not been supervised by a Goliath. I call President Biya a Goliath who always have a way. You see, he will tell us, we have regional delegates. They'll preside over the grass field. We're going to transfer powers to them. Yet you hold power from them. Because if a regional delegate takes an action, President Biya will get him out. Because the law that brings them in works in accord with him, the president. So the decentralization process of Cameroon, Mr. VErnasius, is zero. It's a zero. But I believe, Mr. VErnasius, nothing is too late, okay? Nothing is too late. I believe that we are going for another election, which is in a week's time on the 30th of November. And those that have been there, they have been in school, okay? They have been in school. Now, I will tell the government to let them work. But the question is, they cannot work because they are from the regime. I bet you, Mr. VErnasius, most of these regional delegates who will be regional councillors who will be voted on the 30th of this month will not do anything. They will be listening but Yaoundé. Our chiefs, the 20 regional delegates from the chiefs, they are staying in Yaoundé. How do you expect them to supervise their job at the grass field? How do you expect them to bring development? How do you expect them to feel the pain? Because, Mr. VErnasius, there's a problem we have in this country. A lot of people rely on IESA, and that was one of the greatest problems we are having with our president. He's not a proactive president who goes to the field, talk with the people, listen to them, bring solutions. No, you stay in your palace and you wait people to come and give you news that has been diluted. That has been diluted. Okay, so these regional delegates, regional councillors, the chiefs and the others, they live in Yaoundé. They are not in their villages. How do you expect them to make sure that the action or the idea of decentralization should be effective? That's a problem. And Mr. VErnasius, I listened to President Biya's speech, his speech when he was, la prestation de serment. He said that he will not let Cameroon, okay? He will not let Cameroon until Cameroon become the El Dorado of Africa, okay? So I think that it is time for him to redo every part of this country, not only the regionals. We are talking of the executive, okay? We are talking of the executive, to be precise. We are talking of the executive. There is still time. Okay, we still believe, because he said we should give him another 7 years. We are waiting, but the thing we are saying, President Biya, this is your final bus stop. It is time for you to take actions to rebuild, so that you're gonna enter into the good books of Cameroonians. Okay, we all saw what is happened during the presidential election, where so many people, contested the results. Okay, I for once, I cannot say that, because I don't have all the procès verbal. I cannot come and say, no, Issa Chiroma won, President Biya won, who Cabral Libi had this. No, because for you to say such grievous things, you need to have proofs. And for you to rally all the paves is not really easy for a person. So Elekam, which is the only legal entity we have, declared President Biya as the winner, and the Constitutional Council as well. So we peaceful Cameroonians, that we want peace, because peace has no price. We are telling Biya, President Biya, you were sworn in and you preside over every institution, the executive, the legislature, the judiciary, the regional delegates and all that. You preside over all of them. You have given them the yam, but you haven't given them the knife. It is time for you to give them the yam and the knife. It is time for you to clear your surrounding. It is time for you to make decisions that you will not leave you will not leave a bad impression in the hearts of Cameroonians forever. Because 43 years of failure is not 43 days. Okay? When you go to the grass field, Mr. VErnasius, you see what Cameroonians are going through. These people, they don't feel our problems. They don't feel the same way. When you tell them you have a problem of food, they are surprised. When you tell them you cannot afford transport, they are surprised. They are surprised you climbing on motorcycle, bikes here in Douala. They are surprised. They don't feel the same pain with us. Okay? We don't have roads. We don't have schools. We don't have gratuities for those that have gone on retirement. Teachers are being maltreated anyhow, okay? Our schools, our children have been left at the mercy of, so many things. I call it la dépravation des mœurs, because of what we have. A parent is supposed to work 50 times more than he was supposed to do. And the children are abandoned to themselves. And we have a society which is not holy. Because they say the base of a society is the family. If the family is not healthy, and what causes the family not to be healthy? Because of the bad governance. We have good laws, Mr. VErnasius. We have people who can do the job, qualified people, yet they are not being They don't put them at that table. They will take people that will sing their lullaby. They will take people that walk the same walk with them to put them. And that is why I told President Biya, it's time for you to do what we call a government of national union. What do I mean by that? A government of national union is whereby the ruling party takes in opposition leaders who have something to offer and they come together to do something. Now, people will argue that we have opposition party leaders who are in the government, like Jean de Dieu Momo, but these people are not opposition party leaders, okay? They are what we call les accompagnateurs, je vends. So they will not tell me we already have this. No. Take people, we have Kamto, we have Akeremuna, we have them, we have me, okay? Call us to come in and help the government so that we are going to have what we call a holy competition. Because, Mr. VErnasius, if we have what we call a government of national union, there will be competition where everybody wants to be the best, where everybody will be the watchdog of each other, okay? And embezzlement will reduce, mismanagement of state funds will reduce, abuse de pouvoir, all these mysterious things we are having in this country will greatly reduce, Mr. VErnasius. So that's the message I am sending. Decentralization is a zero, it's a failure. And the government has to consider what we call un gouvernement de l'Union nationale, a government of national union. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming up. We must indicate to our viewers that you are part of this discussion. You can participate by sending in your own contribution. What do you think about the relevance of the regional councils in the developmental plan of Cameroon? How relevant are they in Cameroon's development? Participate by sending in your contribution through the numbers on your screen. We will take them live here in the studios. Mr. Nkwine, let's come back to talk about these regional councils. Part of it, like Madam Ba was indicating, is made up of the traditional rulers, first degree, second degrees, and third degree forms. Or traditional rulers, they constitute part of these regional councils. But then there has been this conflict between who is who. Conflict between regional council, the delegates of the various divisions, and the College of Traditional Rulers. How has that been affecting the effectiveness of this institution from realizing its targets or its goal?
That's why the question you're asking is a question that many Cameroonians out there will ask, because as we earlier said, the regional council is nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. We don't know the way they are functioning. We don't know their approach to the community, to the society where they are being appointed, they are being voted to exercise. So it makes the institution to be a little bit close. It's like they are functioning in a kind of closing hall where they are doing what they have to do there, but the people are not informed. You understand? Now, talking of the role of those our chiefs, our traditional rulers. It's always a problem to see a traditional ruler involving himself into politics, because I think the role of a traditional ruler is actually to better gather the people under his kingdom. And you know, these people have so many opinions, which was not supposed to meet or to go against the opinion of the chief or the traditional ruler.
Yes.
Because chief is appointed under our customs and traditions, not under election or whatsoever.
Exactly.
On that position, it's always disturbing to imagine a traditional ruler fighting over a position, a political position,
with a subject,
with a subject, exactly, with a subject. We're in the face of what they call betraying our sacred belonging, because the chief is somebody who keep or who
custodians of our sacred traditions.
Exactly. So we're now in face of betraying that particular sacred realities, which is something to question. If they ask my opinion, my candid opinion, I would rather say chief should be chiefs should be kept aside.
Out of politics.
They can create a house of chiefs as we have in the northwest and southwest.
Yeah, exactly.
They are functioning because the house of chief, they have their divisions,
yes.
they have their president, and they are functioning. We know the way they are functioning. That one has nothing to do with politics, but involving them into politics create a lot of tension between the rulers, the chiefs, and their subjects,
yes.
which is not actually something that a democracy like Cameroon can boast up. I want to say something coming from what I heard from Madam Ba. Let me just step into elections to say it's my full right as somebody who participated, who voted, to have my opinion over the result that has been proclaimed from the Constitutional Council. I want to inform Cameroonians that everybody who contradict or who is against those results proclaimed by the Constitutional Council can use Elecam as an exhibit, as proofs. Elecam is functioning with how they call it, with
the PVs?
No, not the PVs. They are functioning with money from the people. We are the one paying Elecam.
Of course, the budget
so
of Elecam is,
if there is something I feel like I want to express myself, and Elecam happens to have the proof, the evidence of what my opinion tells me, I can cite Elecam to bring the 31,622 PVs.
Yes.
That can prove what I have as an opinion to say that this election has been tricked and the proclaimed president is not the president I know that he was to be. Using the Elecam PVs, because they say the law says only Elecam PVs are
authentic.
So I can then cite Elecam, even summon them with full right to bring those 31,622 PVs. That proves the person who wins the election.
But then
So
I
I
think
have
that
the right to do that.
The law gives us the opportunity to take such type of election litigations to the Constitutional Council. But all those who have been claiming, the victory, nobody has presented anything to say that this is what I have.
You see, that's why I was saying that it's not a matter of people presenting their proofs. We have an institution which is Elecam.
Yes.
Elecam is being paid by taxes.
Taxpayers' money.
It's taxpayers' money.
Yes.
Therefore, I that participated to vote, I have the legal position.
But nobody asked for it, and Elecam did not. Who came out to say that? Can Elecam bring out their
That's why I'm saying that
PVs?
if I was to be questioned,
yes,
I'll cite Elecam as a proof of evidence with the 31,622 PVs to put it on the face of the law,
yes,
so that we can now exactly know what is the truth of that election. So if I stand to hold my opinion that Mr. Abia did not win this election, and somebody wants to purchase me, or somebody wants to follow me up at the judiciary level, I can cite Elecam as the institution that has the proofs,
yes,
of my opinion.
Yes.
So it's to tell Madam Ba that it's not a matter of people bringing proofs. The proofs are there. And it's a lawful, the Elecam is under the law to bring out those proofs, so that we can now check and better verify who has won the election, who is the real winner of this election.
All right. Let's come back to Madam Ba to find out from her. Madam, if you were talking about the issue of these chiefs, I believe that you are still there. These chiefs that we have, traditional rulers in the regional council. Now, do you think that they should still continue if we are to ensure the transparency and effectiveness of this council? Do you think that these chiefs should continue to participate in this partisan politics by belonging to the regional councils?
VErnasius, thank you for the question, but I wanted to answer my co-panelist, Dylan, who spoke of the results of Elekam. Yes, you know, in the common law, we say that every accused is innocent until proven guilty. But in the civil law, they said every accused is guilty until proven innocent. Now, me as a practitioner of the common law, because I am an Anglophone, a Cameroonian from the English-speaking zone, I would say that Elekam is innocent until proven guilty. Now, it is for you, the accused, to bring us the papers which you claim that what the Elekam read was not true. Okay, it is for you, because you will not come out and blowing of because of social media things which we have, and you tell people no, the result Elekam brought out is not the true one. Okay, you're contesting the result. You bring your PV. Once you bring your PV, once you're taking Elekam to court, once you're taking Elekam to the Constitutional Council, you say this is the PV I am presenting to you. This is what this is not what you gave out to Cameroonians. And then Elekam will bring their own PVs and say this is what we have. Then the fight begins. That's what I was trying to say, okay? Because I personally, I was a president of a polling station here in Douala, okay? I was a president. So not because in my polling station Cabral Libi won, then I'll come out publicly and say Cabral Libi has won the presidential election. This is bad. I am able to prove that with all the 31,622 pages. Okay, so it is not for you coming out to accuse Elekam without having proofs, and you're telling Elekam that bring me your pages. No, you bring your pages that this is what I have. Then Elekam will say, this is what I have. Then the law will separate you people. So that's what I was trying to say. Now, going to your question, Mr. VErnasius, about, the traditional rulers. You see, Mr. VErnasius, when the decree was being signed by President in 2019, that we are going to sit the last stage of our institutions, which is the regional delegates, okay? And they said we have 90 delegates per region, which is Cameroon has 10 regions. So we have 900 regional delegates. And when you look at the arete, they will tell you 70 are regional delegates and 20 are traditional rulers. Now, we all know that traditional rulers are the sacred guarantor of our secret, like Bantus, okay? And normally they are not supposed to get involved into politics. Now, you will ask me a question. Why is it that this institution came into existence rapidly after the Anglophone crisis started? Why? Because a lot of chiefs were not in accord with the government. A lot of chiefs, our traditional rulers, were with the masses, because by then they were still neutral. So now the government, because when we talk of the regional election sitting the last stage of our institutions, they didn't tell us the content of the region, this election, this decentralization, the content. Now, President Biya and his etat-major, they will sit in their rooms, they draft anything, giving us what to do, in accord to keep, so that they will keep winning, okay? So that they will be able to control. That is why when a lot of people will talk of regional election, fast forwarding the last stage of our institution, which is decentralization via the regional election, we do not know the content. The content is so, it's I can say it can cause destruction. Okay, the content is so very, it is a method of division. It's a method of seizing power. It's a method of conserving power. Okay, I want Cameroonians to go and read this on this last stage of our institutions, which is decentralization via the regional election. Okay, our regional delegates. Okay, they will tell you they don't have power, and that is why they had to bring in the chiefs for them to better control everything, for them to seize power more. Because these chiefs will no longer have the free will to work for the people. Traditional rulers are supposed to be the mouthpiece of the villages, of our communities, of our people, their cries. They are not supposed to get involved into politics. So because of this, the outburst of the Anglophone crisis and the mass support of our chiefs, our traditional rulers in this cause, the government thought it important to break them by bringing them into politics, where they will have no choice than to succumb to what Yaoundé tells them. Because if you read the arete, Biya has the knife over the yam they gave them. Biya decides who stays and who goes. You as a traditional ruler who is benefiting from everything they are giving you, and at one point they seize everything, you will not be happy, okay? We are fighting for the rights of others because we too, we want to be fine, okay? That's one of the laws of human rights. You have to stay strong to fight for others. So they will tell you they are enjoying their gratuities in Yaoundé because most of these traditional rulers, they are no longer in our villages. They are all in Yaoundé, enjoying themselves. They are not doing the job. And this is it was another maneuver from our government, as they say, to break down the bond which we have, our ancestral bond with our traditional rulers, so that they will look the road of politics and implement what they want to be implemented in the grass field. Mr. VErnasius.
Thank you. Our time is gradually bringing us to the close of this discussion. But Mr. Nkwai, because of time constraint, I don't think that all is lost. We have elections ahead of us in a week's time. There are the 900 candidates who are preparing to occupy these regional council seats. If you were to talk to them, to the candidates, all those who are aspiring, we assume those who are aspiring, you are to talk to them. What would you tell them as, a Cameroonian who is concerned about the well-being of Cameroon, the way of Cameroonians, who is concerned about the development of Cameroon? What would you tell them?
Okay, sorry, I will come to your question. I will not be too long.
Yes,
I just wanted to
briefly.
Just briefly. So I wanted to come on with the issue of the Elecam with the PVs. The law recognizes the authenticity of Elecam PVs. So be it that I have my own PV, it doesn't count. Only the Elecam PV counts. So when they say only the Elecam PV counts, it shows that in the face of the law, the only PV that can be taken into account is the Elecam PV. And as a citizen, as a voter, I have the right to use that proof of exhibit to show, because actually, if I hold an opinion that Mr. Biya did not win an election, despite that he has been proclaimed by the Constitutional Council.
What proof do you have?
The proof I have is actually the authentic PVs that the law recognizes, and the PVs are the ones from Elecam,
and that is what they presented to the Constitutional Council.
No, you know how those things functions. Me, I'm talking of the 31,622 PVs. That's why I believe that the truth is within. So it's my position to cite Elecam as a proof of evidence that my opinion stating that the real winner of this election is not Mr. Biya. Now, maybe I've been caught and they want me to
justify.
I can cite Elecam.
Okay.
My full right is to cite Elecam because it's only the PVs that Elecam has that matters.
All right.
Okay, coming to the advice. Yes. What will you tell these councillors?
These candidates who are going in for the election on Sunday?
First of all, I would want to ask them if they are aware of the people's problems. That's the first. If they can be honest to have gone down to the field, to the grass field, get from the roots of people's problems. Because Cameroon is bubbling. The level of tension is up to where that I personally am afraid. I'm afraid that I may get up a morning and see that people are running left and right. So those councillors, my first address to them is for them to go down to those people, to the people, get from their worries, get from their problems, summarize everything, write down the priority of what they may ask to the ruling government to do directly, that can impact, that can radically change the life of the people, and then also transform the perception of the governing system. Then the second thing I would like to advise them is to reject any fake untransparent election. You know, when you are not carried by people, you are being murmured by people. People will murmur at you.
Take it again.
When you are not carried by people, you are rather murmured by those people. And nobody will feel comfortable to rule in an atmosphere where
He's
not accepted.
But they are supposed to be representatives of every division, the 52 divisions that we have.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that to be representative, you need to go to those people. They need to know you. They will not take somebody who is living in Yaoundé to appoint.
The law says you must live in that area or on, you know, you must reside in that area of competence where you.
That's why somewhere I said laws should be respected. But unfortunately, what we are encountering is that people can use law just for the artificial use of it. I know what I'm saying when I say they can take somebody from Yaoundé for the time of election. They ask him to go and be on his locality so that he can participate, and when at the end of the day he's the one being voted. I know what I'm talking about. So any councillor who wants to stand and get from the blessing from the people should be closer to these people, should share their common pains, should carry up their worries. Exactly. That person should be able to have the power to gather, because that's also another thing. You will see somebody is voted, but he cannot even gather 1 or 2 people to talk to them. They will not come because they will say this man is not the person we were expecting.
He does not carry our aspiration.
He does not carry our aspiration. He's a stranger to us. So this is stop to be strangers to these populations. Then the third one actually is to say the truth of what they have seen and they have heard. As Manamba was saying, President Pobia is working out of reports, and those we know how those reports are being sized up for the interests of the people who are carrying them. These people, these councillors should be able to always say the truth of what they have seen and of what they have heard, so that those populations will recognize themselves whenever this will be carried up at the level of the local governance. It's very important, because failing to do that actually will create a kind of scission, division between the people who are supposed to rule and the people who are supposed to, accept, receive the ruling actions that are being put in place. Somebody will come and build a bridge. The day to launch that bridge, nobody will be there. You imagine?
Okay. Thank you. I think I will take the same question to Madame Ba to find out from her. Madame, if you were to talk to these councillors who are preparing to be elected on Sunday, what would you tell them, as you know, like Mr. Kwai was saying, to let the people identify with them? What would you tell them as the people's representative in this issue of local governance?
Yes, Mr. VErnasius, like I said previously, that the regional delegates that came to existence since 2020, they have no power of their own. So there is nothing I can tell them. I want to talk to the person that controls them, which is President Biya, because you know, when we talk of decentralization, we talk of transfer of powers. These people, they don't have power because of the content that governs this last phase of our decentralization, which is the regional election. So I'm going back to the person who commands them, which is President Biya. Because President Biya presides over everything. He is the God. They can, Mr. VErnasius, we don't have Ibrahim Traore in Cameroon. Because if you're telling us that we should send messages to these regional delegates that will be voted on the 30th, these messages will fall on a bare floor. They will not yield any fruit, because we don't have Thomas Sankaras here. We don't have Ibrahim Traores. We don't have the Usman Sonko. Okay, we don't have the Namdis Azikiwes here. Okay, we have chicken-livered people. So now, for us to have a better Cameroon, we need to go back to the commander, which is President Biya. So I am telling President Biya, please give these regional delegates the yam and the knife, so that they're going to carry out their duties effectively. Because when we look at the arete and the content of this regional election, President Biya has an upper hand on them. And that is why if he keeps commanding them, not giving them the ability to do their job, the process of decentralization via our regional election is zero Bilang, and it will still remain zero. And the same goes to his executive, because we want a government reshufflement. Okay, President Biya decides over everything. Cameroon is not decentralized, it is still a state. So I would tell these regional delegates, please, I know you don't have the guts, you don't have the liver to stand out like others, okay, like in other countries. That is why I have nothing to tell them. I have only my own plight that I'm bringing to who is at the Supreme Magistracy, which is Biya. Give these people the ability to carry out their jobs so that Cameroon will be at peace. Though a lot of Cameroonians are fighting this current form of the state, I tell people, if decentralization is effective, we all will be fine. Federation or separation is not the only means. Decentralization, which is what is happening in most countries around the world and the people are jubilating, can still take place in Cameroon. So President Biya should stop being a hindrance. He should stop sending the wrong message. At the end of the day, we are going to say that they are the regional delegates that are not doing their jobs. Look at what is happening with the chiefs today, where the chiefs will be fighting with their subjects because of position. They have left their homes. They have gone to the city in Yaoundé to enjoy themselves, because the content of their job description is presided by Yaoundé. So we have nothing to tell them. We have something to tell the head of the magistrature, the Supreme Magistracy of this country, which is President Paul Biya, that was voted on the 12th of October. Okay? President Biya, let our institution be free and fair. Let our institution work normally. Do not have them like your put them in a sardine container where only you decide on how things happen. Thank you. And Mr. VErnasius, it is not only the regional delegates that have this problem. All the institutions are not free and fair. They don't have their autonomy, okay? They don't have autonomy. The judiciary, the executive, the legislature, and now the regions, the regional councillors. So the question and the strongest question should be Biya, okay? Not the regional delegates that will be voted on the 30th of November. Thank you, and may God bless this country, our country, Cameroon.
Madam, thank you for making time to discuss with us. Our time is out in this edition, and we'll be looking forward to having you subsequently when the opportunity comes to have you discuss with us. Thank you so much for being there this afternoon.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure, and I'll always be very grateful, Mr. VErnasius, you giving us opportunity like that to talk on aching issues of our country. Cameroon is not doing fine. Africa is not doing fine. Look at what is happening with Nigeria. Look at what is happening in Senegal. Look at what is happening around Africa. All African countries are in deep public riots everywhere, and I pray that Cameroon should bypass this stage of post-electoral crisis. We need peace, and that is why we are still calling on President Biya to organize an inclusive dialogue, because he didn't say anything about the Anglophone problem. This is 9 years. We are still suffering, Mr. VErnasius. We want him to solve this problem. Cameroon has been known of a country of peace, peace and peace. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you for being there. Mr. Nkwai, it was our pleasure having you with us to discuss in this edition of This Week in the News.
Yeah, I'm also pleased to share my own candid opinion, and I'm happy to know that we, the Anglophones, we stand to always say the truth to this government, despite all the torture, the sufferings our people are undergoing, but we always stand to say the truth. I want to seize the opportunity to use your platform
in less than because of
just to announce that I'm in a project to put down a political party, which I call upon the actors of the civil society, same as those who are in the political arena, to join me so that we can co-found this particular project. Yes. The name, let me just decline the name here, is Popular Republican Alliance Party.
Yes.
In French, is Parti de l'Alliance Populaire Républicaine.
Okay.
So we are working towards a project of that nature, so that we can
Legalizing
put
it and making it official.
everything, so that we can put it on the table, propose to Cameroonian a new way of doing politics,
All right.
and have good expectations from the future elections.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was our pleasure having you. And thank you out there, our viewers who were there to follow the discussion. If you did not get this discussion from the beginning, a rebroadcast will be tomorrow Monday when it will be 10:30 p.m. You can watch this discussion, and we're live on our social media handle. You can still follow the discussion from the Dbstv official, that is in both Facebook and YouTube page. Thank you so much for being there. It was our pleasure being here for you as well. We'll be looking forward to being back next time to discuss issues concerning Cameroon in the subsequent editions of This Week in the News. Other programs will continue here on DBS television. Until we meet again, have a blessed Sunday. Goodbye from all of us here.